Yeah, I know a lot of people have been wondering, how did I get here? So here it is. What's going on, beautiful souls, beautiful people? Welcome to Elevate TV, where we are transcending our minds and our lives to magnificence. I am your reality architect and host, Tremise Valentine. Thank you for tuning in for the newcomers and my everyday supporters. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, go ahead, subscribe, because I know you're going to enjoy this video just as much as any other video in the future and whatever I already posted. So check this out. I said I would do this when I hit 150 subscribers, but I'm way past there. Thank you for that, by the way. And we're going to continue growing, steady elevating, you know what I mean? You know the game. But this is my story. This is a part of how I became me and how I overcame and got into my spiritual journey and started walking in my purpose. I got my notes right here so I can stay on track, but listen up, because this shit gonna get real. Alright? But growing up, I had an illusion of normalcy. Drinking was never a big deal in my family. You know, it wasn't seen as a problem. Matter of fact, even evident problems was swept under the rug. So, you know, we even hid our emotions, or you were considered weak. And as a kid, we were allowed to sip beer. You know, our grandma gave us beer out of her beer cup every chance she got. So as a teen, drinking at home was fine. You know, wine coolers, champagne, whatever. Nobody questioned it. But what starts as just because can turn into because I don't want to feel. And before I knew it, alcohol and pills weren't just fun. They were my escape for a lot of my family, for a lot of my community, in fact. And I didn't realize I was learning to cope before I even knew what coping was. So I grew up around violence. It was all through the community, like I said, and even experienced it myself. It was literally woven into my childhood. So many fights over foolishness, getting robbed. I remember one day, you know, if you from the hood, you know, there's like a basketball court where everybody go, or like a community center where everybody goes. And I remember one day I was at the community center and my uncle and all his friends were shooting dice, and something went wrong with the dice game, and the dude took off with everybody money. I guess he lost, so everybody was chasing him. He runs through, knocks me down, busts my lip, and all this other shit. But they ended up beating up old dude. Old dude came and robbed us the same night. Like, that's the type of shit that I went through. So, you know, I was even abused physically, mentally, like I said, because we were taught not to be emotional. We were taught to be quiet, even when we got whoopings. So, and then I also went through molestation, you know, from people who are supposed to love me and care for me and protect me. I don't blame my mom or anybody for any of what I experienced. You know, we all have our own conditioning. We all have a journey, you know. So how she grew up, it was taught to me and my siblings, you know, not showing your weakness, pushing through whatever. You know, you got to stand 10 toes and demand your respect in any which way, shape, or form. I 100% love and respect my mom. I don't blame anybody for my journey. You know, from my spiritual journey, from this growth that I have experienced these six or so years, have brought me to the awareness that we all go through things for a reason, whether that be death, abuse, sickness. It's all to grow from and to understand our true power, and for other people to also grow from, even if it's like a little kid who died. You know, there's things to be learned from those situations, things to be learned from every situation. And we take that information back to the collective consciousness, the ultimate from these experiences, because we are a part of that oneness, so we're not meant to be victims of our lives. And that awareness gave me so much strength, gave me so much strength. So like I said, I don't blame anybody. But this is my story. So when my abuser was released from prison, something cracked inside of me. Like I remember at my cousin's graduation, it was like a surprise. I didn't know, and they mentioned his name, and I'm just like, I just felt so weak. I just felt so weak and didn't know what to do. But from my upbringing, from my conditioning, I suppressed my emotions and just ran with it. I didn't say anything. I was full of fear, full of anger, full of betrayal. I felt those emotions. Like I didn't know those emotions. I just know I felt weak. But now I know those emotions. It was full of resentment, full of hate. I drowned them. I drowned those emotions, suppressed those emotions, and just ran with it. Still said hi, like nothing was wrong. Because that's what I was taught to do. So me drowning them, I sucked it up. And eventually I drowned my emotions in substances. Because that's what I seen around me. I seen witnessed so much violence and and hate and anger. Rarely seen happiness. It was all people cursing out people, stealing. I even remember my uncle experienced somebody that got murdered. They literally put him in the trunk of a car, drove him away, and burned him alive. They recognized who he was by his gold teeth, by his teeth. The dude was yelling his name, but just to think, somebody yelling your name and you didn't come outside to answer, maybe you could have saved their life. Like, that shit is crazy. That shit is traumatic. And everybody goes through their own trauma in different ways. There's no one size fits all for trauma. Everybody has their own different experiences that they can label as trauma. It is subjective. So, like I said, I eventually drowned my emotions in substances. And this is where my avoidance coping started. Instead of dealing with what hurts, you distract yourself from it. You tell yourself it's nothing. You push it down until you don't even recognize your own emotions anymore. It truly got so bad that I couldn't even explain how I felt if I wanted to. I couldn't label the type of emotions that I felt. I just know I felt uneasy. And if I kept going down this path, I would eventually create a disease within me because I was so uneasy. You know what I mean? Being uneasy creates dis-ease. I didn't realize I was emotionally suppressing. I just thought I was getting through it, being strong like I was taught. But really I was weak and I was shutting down. I even remember I didn't even want to hug my own mom or my brother. I remember those times, even before my abuser got out of prison. Maybe when I was like 11 or 12. I didn't want to hug my own mom. That's how emotionally detached that I was. I felt off. I felt so weird being and feeling love, being touched in that way. Because if your own family, people who are supposed to love and protect you, can abuse you, it just really does something to your mental, to your emotional well-being. So so boom, fast forward to 2008, 2009. When I joined the military, my rebellious streak did not end. It didn't disappear. I hated being told what to do. I got in trouble easy, cussed out master sergeants. The list goes on, you know. And I kept wearing my emotions on my face because where else could they go? So even got in trouble for that. But the drinking, that got worse. And pills became a part of the mix. Those were the fake weed days, like the shit that looked like potpourri, but damn near killed everybody who smoked it. Luckily, that wasn't me, but I do remember like one of the days that I did smoke it with some of my military friends. I don't even remember how I got into my bed, but oh, one of my friends took me to my room. I just literally projectile 2 or 3 times. I was out of there. Like I know I fell asleep in the truck. Didn't don't know, bro. It was wild. I'm so thankful that I'm here because so many people that I know are not. Just from that stuff. Just from that stuff. That fake ass weed. And being in the military, you can't smoke. You can't do drugs like that. So that's what we did. Those were the four loco days. Those were the four loco days. Anybody remember those days? But yeah, I just told myself I was having fun, but deep down I was trying to escape. Escapism feels like freedom at first, but the real freedom is facing yourself. So, what are you running from? You think you're avoiding pain, but you're really avoiding yourself. The problem is you can't outrun what's inside of you. No matter how much you drink, smoke, pop, and the longer you run, the louder it gets. That's why damn near every day you would catch me with a drink in my hand. Damn near every day you would catch me with a drink in my hand. I'm speaking after I got out of the military, but for sure on the weekends I was drinking when I was in the military and popping pills. Those had Lortabs, got my wisdom teeth out, had pain pills, mixing uh Flexerols. It was wild. It was wild. And then, we all know Four Loco back then was really something even by itself. So mixing those two, I was out of there. And and a little before COVID hit, I started to notice patterns. My relationships all had the same toxic cycle. All the same toxic cycle. I even got to the point where I got in a relationship even though my gut feeling, my instinct told me not to. Ended up living with the person, ended up going down an abusive hill, all because I didn't want to be alone, but I knew I had some growing to do. So after that relationship is when I really explored my spiritual journey. Like a little before that relationship ended, actually. Like that is what really took me to the point of really exploring because it was just like I had enough. My family was still enabling abusers and being silent. I was still numbing, avoiding, and suppressing. And that's when it hit me. If I don't change, nothing else will change. What you're not changing, you're choosing. In the back of my mind, there has always been a, 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 a voice reminding me that I have a huge purpose in this world. My mom got into a horrible accident before I was even born. They thought that I was dead. My brother flew through the car window. They literally thought I was dead, but I'm here for a reason. She didn't take any pain pills, anything that they were trying to give her to numb the pain because she knew that that would hurt me. So I always had that reminder in the back of my head, and being in this abusive, crazy relationship, knowing that I shouldn't, just told me it's time for a change. It's time to have the courage to change. So one day I just stopped. Cold turkey. No more substances or running. I didn't know what healing would look like, but I knew I was done escaping. COVID was really a time for spiritual awakening for a lot of the world. Yes, it was horrible also for a lot of the world, but I really am thankful for the positivity that it did. You know, like I say in a lot of my videos, the law of polarity, the law of opposites. To everything, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So the positivity of COVID was a spiritual awakening for a lot of the world. With the world being on pause, people had no choice but to sit with themselves. No distractions, no constant movement, just raw reflection. It's like the universe gave us a hard reset and said, it's time to wake up. For many, it was a time of confronting deep seated trauma, emotional wounds, realizing what truly mattered, relationships, your purpose, inner peace, and breaking free from societal programming and toxic cycles, exploring consciousness and spirituality on a deeper level, shifting from survival mode to intentional living, quitting old habits and starting shadow work, whether that be through meditation, energy work, or simply just questioning everything that was once believed. It was truly a time. It was truly a time, and I'm really thankful for it. But quitting the substance was one thing. Facing the emotions I had once buried for years, that was the real work. That was the real work. I read books. The Body Keeps the Score is a great one, a great read. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Watched hours and hours of YouTube on people who overcame their own trauma. Joined a spiritual manifestation group and slash course. Had an accountability buddy and accountability group. And actually through that course, that's where I met the love of my life. Since then, everything has changed in a tremendous way. Like I said, I found the love of my life. We traveled in our RV for 2 years. And now we're building financial freedom as well as our family while raising the collective consciousness. But the biggest shift wasn't external, it was internal. Because healing isn't just about escaping the pain, it's about finally feeling it, processing it, and freeing yourself from it. Because on the other hand, it feels so fucking heavy, huge, overpowering, because we run away from it. We try to suppress it. We keep that energy within us instead of letting it circulate and letting it flow through us. And we give it that power over us by looking at it in that way. But feelings are meant to be felt. We're not only meant to feel happy, we're not only meant to feel one way. We have these feelings to feel them. They're not meant to be eternal feelings, but we can feel these feelings and let them go and grow from them and learn from them. Name the feeling and know that your feeling is just a feeling, is not you. Your thoughts are just thoughts, they're not you. We can feel and think and let them just flow on. But first we have to come to that realization, that awareness, have that self-reflection to really get to that point of seeing ourselves on the pedestal and not our feelings on the pedestal and our problems on the pedestal. We're on the pedestal and we look down on these feelings. We look down on these thoughts, and whatever we feel is bigger than us. That shift in perspective is so powerful. My spiritual journey has really taught me how to see my thoughts as just thoughts and know that I am consciousness. I'm not my thoughts. My feelings are feelings to be felt, not they don't define me. I choose who I am. When we understand that we have the power to create anything that we want in our life, co-create, should I say, because everything is already created. But we can allow that into our life by choosing to identify with what serves us instead of holding on to energy and not letting it circulate as it should, and letting it depress us and suppress us and cause uneasiness and in turn dis-ease. We can really start to shift into an ease life, a prosperous life, an abundant life, a happy life, a peaceful life. Everything is energy, and all we have to do is let it go. Let that energy, let that suppressed energy go to really be circulated, and you'll start to feel lighter. You will start to see more of the light. You won't feel so dark and heavy. You will start to change your life because you're starting to change the internal. It all starts within. I want to ask you, have you ever felt like you were numbing yourself? What were you really avoiding? Let's talk about it. Because now is the time to change it. Now is the time to let it go. Your soul has been asking you to let it go. And all you have to do is make the decision. Decide that it's time to let go. What is it that you're running away from? And what would happen if you stopped? You're not alone. We can heal together. So I invite you to join the Cosmic Abundance Network. I'm uploading a lot of meditations and personal strategies that have helped me get to where I am and will continue to help me grow. It can do the same for you. It can help the same for you. It's not a one size fits all, but there are multiple ways that I am aware of that can help you out with that. Like I said, I have new content every day, uploading free content, get freebies for now and in the future. And I also have exclusive one-on-one sessions for an abundance activation session. You want to unlock and unblock whatever's holding you back and get a personalized strategy to help you get over that and start to manifest and materialize the thing that you want, your desired reality, easier. Book a one-on-one session because I got you. And join the Cosmic Abundance Network because it's a community of people who are focusing on creating that best life for themselves. So much love to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know what y'all want to hear next. I would love some suggestions, and be encouraged, be empowered, be great, and elevate. Peace. Oh.